I'm Robert C. Dupree, and I just wanted to bring to the American people's attention, now if I was bringing to the media's attention concerning my neighbor's cat that may have came across the street and got stuck in my truck's exhaust pipe, or the neighbor's dog that may have gotten caught in, my fence, or some animal got caught in my sewer or some type of trench or whatever it is, social media would jump all over that, just like that. They'll be all over it. Channel 4, Channel 5, Channel 9, Channel 19, 62, 41, Channel whatever channels. They all will be around here observing and checking this whole thing out. And I bet you I will have over 200,000 hits and views and comments. Oh, how is the animal doing? Did they ever get the cat out of your exhaust pipe? Well, what about the animal that was caught, or the dog that was caught in the fence? Did they ever get the animal out? They have crews, emergency equipment and everything else around here. If the animal needed oxygen, if it needed CPR, whatever it is, IV, they'll give everything. That animal, they have attention all around the globe. Social media be all over it. But as soon as I speak about fraud on the courts, conspiracy against civil and constitutional rights, or some type of government corruption and things here involving this case that I've been ongoing battling and continuously trying to get civil and constitutional rights upheld through our judicial court system in this cause of action, which General Mills is behind, and especially here in the latest about the Lamar's advertising and having this same judge, Gary A. Fanner, who has no business been on this civil lawsuit around over here, especially when I had to file complaints against him for lying, withholding information, refusing to send all documentations up to the higher up court, which is required by federal laws of appeal that he must send on all up to, if the district court have this type of information within their, possession, which they did. But the American peoples have a tendency to say, well, you know what, oh, that's just this crazy Dupree fella around here talking about this General Mills stuff again. The thing of it is, if General Mills had been allowed to use our judicial court system in this cause of action, which they had, and they got more than enough evidence to prove and show that, well, it's not only just about Robert C. Dupree. This is a bigger picture. This is a bigger picture. It involves all of us, meaning regardless of what creed, color, race, whatever it is, especially, let me make it plainer, if corporation, and this cause is General Mills, but if corporation has been allowed to use and influence certain lawyers, certain judges, certain judicial chief judges, and whoever's in this, in the judicial system around up over here that affects all of our civil and constitutional right, depending on what our situation and what the situation may be or occurred, as in this cause of action. And you see what I'm speaking about, involving with the fraud and stuff around it. This Judge Fenner had no business being on this case, especially as I just stated, when I had to make complaints and things about him, and everybody knows about it. And what I mean when I say everybody knows about it, I'm talking about in our judicial system, meaning the United States District Court in the Western District of Missouri, down here in Kansas City. They know about it. The chief judge down there knows about it. The United States Court of Appeal for the 8th Circuit that's located up here in St. Louis knows about it. Their chief judge know about it. The judge and the panels and things know about it. When I had to file a complaint against this judge back here in 2011 and here also in 2015 and 16, oh yeah, they know about it. The United States Supreme Court, they're aware of it. They know about it. Well, not only that, the U.S. Department of Justice in the criminal section and division, they know about it. This U.S. attorney, Tammy Dickerson, who is the highest ranking prosecutor in federal crimes in this type of situation, she knows about it. Her office is right down here with this Judge Fenner, down here in the federal court, back down here over here in the Kansas City area. This other U.S. attorney, Matt Spark, he knows about it. His office is right down there too. The NAACP, they're aware of it. They know about it. The FBI, they're aware of it. Huh? And our congressman, Lamar Cleaver, he's aware of it. He knows all about it around up over here. Documents and things been presented to him around up over here. The SCLC, they're aware of it. I mean, come on. A urban league, they're aware of it. I mean, there's a whole lot of people's aware of it. The National Action Network, which the Al Sharpton and them around, they're aware of it. They know all about this here situation pertaining to my battle and continuously ongoing and rights being deprived behind the color of law for years. They're aware of it. I'm trying to think this other place around up over here, the Liberty Council. They're aware of it. So what I'm saying, there's a whole lot of folks that is aware of the corruption and stuff that's going on. But since General Mills have such a pull in our judicial court system, well, apparently this is something that nobody wants to have anything to do with. Discrimination. Don't ignore it. Report it. Knows about it. The Commission on Human Rights knows about it. So there's a whole lot of people out here knows about it. City Hall knows about it. Our mayor, Sly James and them, oh, they're aware of it. Well, there's a whole lot of people, a lot of folks is aware of it. And especially in our judicial system around up over all the way up to the United States Supreme Court. But nobody wants to do anything other than play it off and pretend like this is not happening. Matter of fact, this is one of the questions I asked. Matter of fact, it was two questions that I asked here when it was blessed enough to get it all the way up to the United States Supreme Court. And I read it Cicerere. One of the questions here in the questionnaire that was presented, I asked the courts and the United States Supreme Court and the Court of Appeal, all of them. I'm asking all of them. I asked them, do attorneys or judicial officers who are authorized to practice law within the jurisdiction of the United States or within the jurisdiction they reside in have the liberty to intentionally mishandle the law and practice fraud, deception, resulting in violation of civil and constitutional rights. Injury that prevent petitioners or anyone from knowing his full rights, or representation being intentionally deprived from having a fair, equal, and opportunity in protection of the law, which all citizens of the United States have rights to. Complying to the 14th Amendment rights are our major corporations, or they allowed to be used to influence with their ability to improperly influence the judicial system to their advantage, as corporate General Mills has and for the past 10 years in violation of civil and constitutional rights. Huh? For the past 10 years and now continuing even unto 2012. This here was questions that I've asked a couple of years ago around up over here, or several years. And then the second question that I asked the United States Supreme Court and the other courts, and the district courts, and the Court of Appeal, I asked them also concerning if plaintiff Robert C. Dupree, pro se, had intentionally devised a fraudulent scheme to leave out very important documents and information that is required by law to send up to the courts, or to devise a deliberate scheme to send false documents and statements to deceive the court, which is required by law not to do. Would the United States District Court for the Western District of Missouri and Western Division, or with the United States Court of Appeal for the 8th Circuit and the United States Supreme Court, would they have overlooked petitioners' act? No way. No way they would have overlooked that. Matter of fact, they would have thrown the whole full course of the law at me and had me with contempt and every darn thing else, as long as it's probably not even in existence. They would have used against me for lying and contempt and using false documents and things around here and to trying to deceive the courts. But it's all right when they do it. This battle has been going on for over the past 15 years. So it's nothing that they're not aware of. And the latest is with Lamar's advertising. The billboard, where I had to file suit against them for lying and saying that the information on the website that was still against General Mills, and here it is, against General Mills. Well, they're going to tell me, oh, well, we can't prove that the information on it is accurate after they didn't have the darn thing for a good month. Over a month. They designed the artwork. They did all this here. They designed it. Had a location already set up to put the information out, to let the public see about the website that I'm referring to in regarding to General Mills and the racial discrimination and stuff. Well, anyway, that didn't come to pass, like I say. They sat back here and lied and fabricated and said that it wasn't true, and then they said if I can prove it, well then we'll go ahead and do it. And when I did it, well then that was a different story. They began to start getting angry, corporate, and hanging up and saying that, you know, I'm accusing me of harassing them and so forth. Well, anyway, long story short, when I had to file suit against them for lying and all this other foolishness that went down, they put the same judge that was allowed, this Gary A. Fenner, he was allowed to be on this new lawsuit here in 2015, which he had no business even being close to when I had to file a complaint against him back in 2011 because of fraud and lying and withholding information. And nobody did not do anything to even see to him that he get off of the case in compliance to 28 U.S.C. 455. That is requires for a judge or any judicial officer with any impartiality or any problems or any conflict of interest that he had with one of the plaintiffs or whoever it is in situations. He had no business even been near that new lawsuit around here. But yet no one didn't do anything to require to get him off. And according to law, that's in violation not only of his oath, not only of my civil and constitutional rights, but even against the Constitution itself. Because the law requires that if a judge refuses to get off a case when it's mandatory by law that he get off the case, and he refuses to do so, well then, hey, that's in violation of Constitution. But no one wants to address that. Everyone wants to appear that, oh well, this judge, everything he's doing is fine and dandy. And it's totally out of contact. And no one wants to address that. So like I said, I want to make sure I just bring this to the American people and at least let the truth be known. So, the truth, regardless of what, I feel and believe that the American peoples have the right to know. And this is what General Mills, and of course they don't want you to know. But I believe you have the right to know. And as a law-abiding citizen, that's one thing about this great nation of ours that we're living in here. We as citizens have the right to protest for our rights to our government. And I believe I have a moral obligation to make this known to the American peoples.